Hello, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a video that I've sort of thought about for the last few weeks, and we did discuss it a fair bit on DR's channel. We did a BBL podcast with Scooby Bryant. Check that out. Link will be in the description. Just a great chat. A man that has, I think he's finished in the top 700 5 years in a row. So yeah, definitely knows his stuff in a BBL sense. And we spoke on a particular player for a very, very long time, and it was his favourite player, Scooby Bryant's favourite BBL player, Matt Short. So he actually gave him a Guernsey just from reaching out, saying, big fan of your work. Any chance I get a Guernsey? And a few weeks later, a worn Guernsey and Matt Short signed in his mail. So that's a reflection of how good of a bloke Matt Short is, and we all love Matt Short. I love him. I think he's an absolute superstar and easily the best player in last year's tournament. But today, I'm going to be diving into, why we should be selecting him or why we shouldn't be. Because, I just think, I just want to see his ownership. I reckon it's about 30-something%. It was there somewhere. Oh, well, it's just whatever. But I'm trying to justify why you would be paying $244K for somebody that has a single match. And yeah, he's a machine. We know that. But it's a fair price to pay. And I just think we're going about it the wrong way. I think a lot of the teams that have him selected are real sort of, those randomizer teams. They just, the best sort of available players, etc. And I think Matt Short's the best all-rounder in the competition, and he's going to be an unbelievable pick, and he does have his double the following week, so that's all the more reason to start him. Definitely a must-have for round 2, not necessarily meaning that he's a must-have for round 1. In fact, I think you want to avoid him altogether. He does have the Heat, who are a pretty... they were in the grand final last year, but in a Supercoach sense, I actually think they're really weak type of opposition. So I get that he could just explode. His history against them is pretty solid. So yeah, that's the reason why you do want to start him. But I have a few notes here on Matt Short. This was for the podcast, but I'll elaborate on them. So when I wrote this, the Matt Short debate, 36% of teams. Why? So the first point is a point that I raised a minute or so ago. So he's $244K. It's a lot of money for a player on his single. I was getting messages from me PT. Just ignore that. I want a program. It's another story. I've got bloody plantar fasciitis. It's a pain in the ass injury, so I'm on a bit of a program there. Not at work today, sort of because of it. So I have your time to whip up a Supercoach video as well. So that's a bit off topic, but yeah, he's a fair price to pay for a player in his single, regardless of how good he is. So what I would do is, these are just examples. You don't have to go with these players in particular, but for the same amount of price, you could start a Richardson, Jai Richardson, or Abbott, and then sideways the following week. So hypothetically, for the price of Matt Short, same price, you could pick an Agar from the Scorchers and Josh Philippe for a cheaper price than Short with just one player. And you basically get 4 scores on field in addition to Short's 1. So, I know it's 2 spots, so it doesn't make any sense, but it's a hypothetical because those 2 together is still cheaper than Matt Short. So you're getting 4 cracks at it. So what you want to be doing, particularly in BBL, is loading up on players with their doubles. There's not one player in my BBL team at the moment, and there hasn't been a single player that didn't have a triple or a double over round 1. And I have loaded up on a couple of strikers players, but they're on the bench. They're sort of ready to go for the following week. But Matt Short's too expensive for that, so don't start him. So you want to start Richardson or Abbott, and then I wouldn't sideways Abbott because he doesn't have a buy, but Richardson or someone like that. I think it could be Richardson. I don't know most players. We'll go through a few players and have a look who you could start instead. But Richardson's a prime example of that. Any sort of premium that... I think if they're Renegades players, you want to hold them because they do have a single and then another double after. We could use a Ty for an example, like hypothetically, if we got Marsh or someone around that price. But Richardson, if he's not injured and he's fit and he's firing for the double, I don't mind him as a pick. Very expensive, but you'd pick Richardson for round 1 and then sideways trade him to Matt Short. Perfect, because Richardson has a bye not long after that, and Matt Short has his double straight away. So you want to be doing that. I will be doing that. It won't be Richardson, but it will be a couple of Scorcher players, like your Hardy types. We'll work it out. I've got a bit of money in the bank for that, so that should help. So, yeah, I think you'd much rather go down 100k to a player that has a double than just pay full price for Matt Short. So, yeah, what would you rather? Short single or 2 games each from Philippi or Agar, even Richardson straight sideways? And that's what I'll be doing. I may as well do a mini team update. Not really, I'm not going to go into it. Oh, I don't know why I just clicked AFL there. I'm not going to go into it completely because I'll save that for a separate video. But I'll give you an example of what I'm going to do after round 1. Because it's not a bad strategy. Because this is what I found in the last 2 years of playing BBL, is I have had too many trades at the end of the season. The last lockout has been completed, and let's say I've had about 3 or 4 trades for not being aggressive enough. So BBL, you can sideways trade Matt Short and then get him in later on if you want to. So I'll be doing just that. So yeah, after this week, it'll probably be Hardy and then someone else down to, a cheaper sort of strikers players. I don't have strikers players on my bench. I'll explain that in another video. But you just get what I mean. You just keep sideways trading players. You've got their doubles and you'll make so much money. I mean, there's been instances where I've had 200, 300k in the cash, like in my salary cap, because I didn't know what to do with it. So, yeah, but at the start, it's slim pickings. You got to you really got to manage who you're picking. I mean, I'd much rather pick a Quinton de Kock over a Matt Short for about 60k cheaper, because he's got a double, but he's got another double in a fortnight or in 2 rounds. So yeah, I won't be starting Matt Short, but he'll be my first player traded in after round 1. And I think everybody should be in that same sort of category. Bit of a different one. I didn't really want to do this video because I don't want to be in the minority here. Just to see, I actually just want to see how highly owned he is. So I'm just going to trade out one random player. We'll just see what happens. Because when I put his ownership in, it was maybe a week ago, something like that, close to a week. I don't know if it's changed. And I don't know if it's going to let me. He's just bloody sort of annoying. But yeah, I do think it's about 36%, which is too much. Way too much. I can't believe how many people are actually paying up for him. Yeah, it's retiring. Doesn't like it. We'll get rid of it. Not sure what's going on here. But yeah, this is just a little reasoning behind why I'm not going to go Matt Short, and I don't think he should. And yes, Nathan did say that that his favourite player is Matt Short, and he won't be starting him. So yeah, that just speaks for itself. I just think that there's just so much more you can do with 244k rather than pay up for a player of a single. I mean, in my opinion, if you start Matt Short, you're probably going to lose the first week because it's just too much. If Short goes out for 10, 20 runs, it's a bust. It just is, because he's not going to accumulate enough points for there to be enough value in the selection. So yeah, there are a few points I got there. Don't need to elaborate too much because I'd much rather pick a Aaron Hardy over a Matt Short for so much cheaper, and then try and get some money somewhere else to trade him in the following week. That's why Richardson's a really nice example, because he's more money than Matt Short. So yeah, it's like for like, just sideways at the end of the week, and you're getting the best of both worlds. So I won't ramble on anymore. I just thought I'd do a quick little video about Matt Short being so highly owned, but why is that? I just can't get my head around it. yes, Nathan Scooby Bryant did also say he raised a really good point, but BBL is so name orientated. You know, your Short, your Philippe, your Khan, your Sams. I mean, every single year, it doesn't seem to matter whether or not players have their double or not. They're so highly owned, and why is that? I don't know why, because you just want to pick players that have their double. Matt Short, 36% of teams, too high. That ownership is through the roof. It shouldn't be. I reckon it should be about 10%, because yeah, there's the odd player that would. Excuse me. There'd be the odd coach out there that is targeting for his double, but this is BBL Supercoach, not AFL Supercoach. You can sideways your premiums and then get them back in your team whenever you want. So, yeah, quick little lesson from myself to those who might be new to BBL. I played an aggressive brand of BBL. I sideways traded premiums every single week to players with their double. I made a lot of money, and better yet, I was ranked inside the top 1,000k all year, essentially, before I went to Tassie and lost internet. That's another story, and missed 3 lockouts, and then now I ended up outside the top 3k. I'm not counting that, but yeah. The moral of the discussion is don't start Matt Short. Pick someone else and prioritise him the following week when he does have his double, which is crucial. And then you can hold on to him for as long as you want, even if he has his bye. Use him as a loophole, have him for the rest of the season, but don't start him. That's just about it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm keen to hear everyone else's thoughts on Matt Short, but myself and a couple of other BBL professionals are in the same boat. And yeah, we believe that you should not pick him. It's too much money to pay. But yeah, absolutely prioritise him for round 2. Take it easy, everyone. Hope you enjoy the channel. Subscribe if you haven't as well, because I'll be doing a lot of BBL stuff. I'll be as consistent as ever. Round reviews every single round. I know it's a short turnaround, but they only go for about 3 or 4 minutes. So they're easy to smash out, quick watches, and get a little bit of a point of view on my trades as well. So yeah, look after yourselves. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video.